A messy home is rarely the result of poor cleaning. Most of the time, it is the result of too much coming in. Things pile up not because people stop tidying, but because the flow of objects into the home never really slows down. Bags full of things carried in from every errand, boxes arriving at the door, items picked up just because they were on sale, or seemed useful, or were too hard to leave behind. And slowly, without any dramatic moment, the home starts feeling crowded, heavy, like there is always something to deal with, always something in the way. I went through a period where I started paying close attention to what I was actually buying and why. And when I stopped buying certain categories of things entirely, something unexpected happened. The house did not just get cleaner, it got lighter, more manageable, easier to enjoy. These are the things I stopped buying and what I noticed when I did. Tip 1. Decorative items bought on impulse. There was a time when I would pick up a small decorative piece almost every time I was out. A figurine here, a little frame there, a seasonal decoration that seemed charming in the moment. Each one was inexpensive, each one felt harmless. But over time, every flat surface in the house had something on it. Every shelf was full. And instead of feeling cozy and personal, the whole house felt cluttered and visually noisy. When I stopped buying decorative pieces on impulse, I did not remove what I already had, but I stopped adding. And gradually, as things broke or wore out or simply stopped feeling meaningful, they were not replaced. Surfaces slowly cleared. The things that remained actually meant something. They had a real place and a real reason to be there. The house felt more like mine, more intentional, less like a collection of things I had accumulated without thinking. I realized that space itself is a kind of decoration. An open shelf can be more beautiful than a crowded one. Tip 2. Duplicate kitchen items. I had 3 spatulas, 2 sets of measuring cups, 4 wooden spoons that all did the same thing. None of this happened on purpose. It happened because I kept buying kitchen tools without checking what I already owned, or because something looked useful, and I thought having a backup was smart. When I stopped buying duplicates, I cleared out what I already had and kept only what I genuinely used. 1 good spatula, 1 set of measuring cups. The drawer that used to need effort to open and close became easy. Finding things took seconds instead of a small search every time. Cooking felt simpler because the kitchen itself felt simpler. This applies beyond just the kitchen. The same pattern shows up in closets, bathrooms, and garages. Multiple versions of the same item do not add convenience. They add confusion and take up space that could be doing nothing, which in a home is often the most valuable thing of all. If this kind of thinking resonates with you, I would love to have you subscribe. There is more content like this on the way, and your comments help me understand what is most useful for you. Tip 3. Things bought just because they were on sale. A sale is a powerful thing. It creates a sense of urgency. This deal will not last, and passing it up feels like a mistake. So many of us have come home with things we did not plan to buy simply because the price made them feel irresistible. And those things often end up in a cabinet, a drawer, or a corner, rarely used, slowly forgotten, taking up space indefinitely. When I stopped shopping sales as a reason to buy things, something shifted. I started asking a different question before anything came through the door. Do I actually need this right now? Would I pay full price for it? If the answer to either question was no, I left it behind. It felt strange at first, but the money I saved on things I would not have used was real, and the space I preserved by not bringing them home was even more valuable. The home stopped growing outward and started feeling more like itself. Tip 4. Paper and printed materials kept without a plan. This one surprised me. Paper is so easy to collect and so easy to ignore. Magazines kept for the one article you might reread, catalogs that arrived uninvited, flyers, cards, instruction manuals for things you no longer own, receipts from years ago. Paper multiplies quietly and lives in piles on counters and in drawers and on desks, until it becomes its own project to deal with. When I stopped holding on to paper without a clear reason and stopped letting new paper accumulate without immediately deciding what to do with it, the difference was remarkable. Surfaces that used to disappear under layers of paper stayed clear. The one small basket for current paperwork actually had room in it. What used to feel like a constant low-level task, managing the paper, mostly went away. Most paper only needs 3 destinations: action, filing, or the recycling bin. Once that became a habit, paper stopped being a problem. Tip 5. Specialty gadgets and single-use tools. There is always a new tool that promises to make one specific task easier. A device for slicing a single vegetable, a special brush for one corner of the bathroom, a gadget that performs a task you can already do perfectly well with something you own. These items tend to look appealing in a store and then sit unused in a drawer for years because the task they were meant for comes up so rarely, or because the regular way of doing it turns out to be just as easy. When I stopped buying specialty gadgets, 2 things happened. I saved the money I'd been spending on items that sounded clever but added very little to daily life, and the drawers and cabinets where these things used to accumulate became cleaner and more functional. The tools I kept were the ones I actually reached for: versatile, simple, used regularly. A well-organized kitchen or bathroom is not one that has a tool for every possible task. It is one where everything has a purpose and earns its space. Tip 6. Extra linens, towels, and bedding beyond what is needed. Closets hold a lot of quiet clutter, and much of it is fabric. Extra sheet sets that never get used because you rotate between the same 2. Towels that are technically fine, but have been replaced by newer ones. Blankets folded at the back that no one reaches for. There is a comfort in having more than enough. It feels like security, but in practice, most households only use a fraction of the linens they keep. When I reduced to what was genuinely needed, enough for regular rotation plus 1 spare, the linen closet became easy to manage. Folding and putting away laundry was faster because there was less, and the closet itself had breathing room. It sounds almost too simple, but clearing out just that one closet made the house feel considerably calmer. It is one of those changes that has a surprisingly large effect for how little effort it requires. Tip 7. Items kept out of guilt rather than use. This last one is perhaps the most important, and it is less about buying and more about letting go. Many homes hold things that are not being used, gifts that did not quite fit your life, items inherited that carry meaning but take up physical space, things you spent money on and feel too guilty to release. These objects stay year after year, accumulating quietly in closets and storage spaces and corners of rooms. When I started being honest about what I actually used and what I was only keeping out of a sense of obligation, the home changed at a deeper level. It began to reflect who I am now, rather than the weight of accumulated history. This did not happen all at once. It was gradual, a few things at a time. But each one released made the space feel more honest, more mine. And importantly, things passed along to someone who would actually use them do more good in the world than they do sitting untouched in a cabinet. Small changes help a home breathe better. If you enjoy these simpler solutions and want to learn homemade recipes and habits that truly make daily life easier, I've put together a special material with many practical ideas. The link is in the pinned comment. If it feels right for you, just take a look. A calmer home is not built all at once. It is built through small decisions, made consistently over time. Every time you pause before bringing something new in, every time you let go of something that has stopped serving you, every time you choose space over accumulation, those moments add up quietly until one day you notice that the home feels different, lighter, easier to maintain, more like somewhere you actually want to spend your time. If you feel tired when you look around your home right now, that is understandable. It takes time for things to build up, and it takes time to gradually restore the ease. But you do not have to do it all today. One drawer, one shelf, one category of things you could simply decide not to buy anymore. That is enough to begin. What is one thing in your home that you have been holding on to but honestly no longer need?